Hey, it's Matt Cook here. In this video, I'm going to answer a question that I've gotten a few times from students of the back pain miracle system, which is, if I am in so much back pain that I can't get out of bed to do these movements that you're prescribing, and most of the movements from the back pain miracle are just on the floor, well, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so I will demonstrate to you some things that you can do in bed to just get your spine mobilized a bit, get the muscles released, just get things feeling a little bit better, just so that you're able to just make progress towards taking that first step and, getting out of bed and being able to get down to the floor. Okay, so this is a relief-oriented video. Now, more than just showing you specific movements and being like, okay, do this movement, this one's going to get your results. More, what I want to do is help you to relate to a state of consciousness where you really believe that you're able to make progress and actually achieve something, okay? Because when you're in a lot of pain, you really feel kind of helpless and hopeless, and you just can't get rid of it. But once you kind of crack over to the right state of thinking and start to notice, oh yeah, I really can, if I do this kind of stuff, like I really can make progress. It's a whole other world, right? Like even though you're in pain, you don't actually feel so bad about it because you're actually improving. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna kind of help you with mostly, and I think that's more important. And also, I think I want to help you get this mindset where you're really able to generate ideas independently of what movements to do for your specific pain, right? Because your specific pain could be absolutely anything. And the movements I show you might not be perfect for that, but if you just get this way of thinking about it and how to be like, oh, what if I did this and that? That's the real power. That's the real way to improve your back, when you really take responsibility for it in your own mind and you can generate ideas of what to do to improve, okay? So, just disclaimer, this is not my personal room, okay? I'm renting, like this is not my taste, okay? But anyway, so let me show you what's going on here, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get a stack of pillows, like go around your house and get all the pillows that you can find, okay? Like different shapes and sizes, different firmness, and just have them available within arm's reach so that you can use them as needed. Now, here, a chair, okay? You also want to have just a chair beside your bed, just some sort of like thing that you might be able to hold on to, or maybe you're going to rest a leg there, maybe you'll put a pillow on there, maybe you'll rest an arm there, who knows, right? But it could be good to have, well, it's definitely good to have at least one, and maybe even more, just right around so that, it's within arm's reach and you can use it for support or whatever you need, okay? Now, all preparation is done, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to find your most tolerable position, okay? So you want to find the position that, even though you're in a ton of pain, you're like, okay, this is the best one, okay? Okay, every single position might be like a 9 or a 10 out of pain, 9 out of 10 for pain, but you find one that's like 8.7. You're like, that's the one, okay? So you want to, let me give you some examples of what that might be. So you can try, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a few different options for what it might be for you. Okay, so you can test these and see, what's the best, okay? So one might be with a pillow with like a decent amount of support, and then on your side, right? On your side like this, in the kind of like a fetal position like this, and maybe like a pillow of like, you know, a softer pillow between the legs, and then maybe a pillow like here or something to rest your arm on, and maybe even you might want to have this arm resting on a pillow as well, and just like that, right? So it's actually pretty nice. So this is kind of like you could call this the side lying pillow support position, right? Where the general idea is it's on your side, it's probably a fetal kind of position, and then you're putting pillows wherever you need to, maybe something extra for the head, maybe something extra for the leg, and both of your arms, just to get yourself in a good position, okay? So there's the side lying position. Now, let's consider a position on your back, okay? Most likely it will be a position with a pillow of a reasonable firmness under your head, because usually when you lie straight back like that, it does, you know, put a lot of tension, right? So just figure it out, test the different pillows and see which pillow is most comfortable to have under your head, okay? The next thing you're going to want is a pillow, and test the different firmnesses under your knees, right? Now it might be just like that. You might do 2 pillows under your knees, okay? Even here, it might actually be something like this, right? It might be something like this, right? Maybe this might be like the most tolerable position. And even still, you might need to like put this and even another pillow like under your arms, you know, just to give yourself all the support you need. But even if it's not exactly this, the general things that you want to address are, you know, what angle is most appropriate for your knees, what angle is most appropriate for, you know, your neck and your back, what angle is most appropriate for your hips, what do you need to do with your arms to make it comfortable for yourself. Okay, so it's all about, as you can see, experimentation with using these pillows to give you the most comfort, right? Okay, let's consider a position lying on your stomach, okay? I apologize if while I'm doing this the microphone gets muffled, because it's like right here, but you know, I'm sure we'll be okay. So, you know, a position that can help a lot sometimes is to actually be like this, okay? This is just an idea, right? There's just something about this, right? So what I want you to notice is it's the feet, you generally want to hang your feet off the bed, right? That just frees your feet. It's very important to free your feet. Even when you're doing the one on your back, you may want to have your feet off the bed, okay? And then when you're here, you know, you may want to do something like this, okay? All right, so maybe something like this. Then you need to think about, okay, where are your arms comfortable? Like is that comfortable? Like maybe you need to go here, you know, maybe you need to go kind of like this to get comfortable, like whatever you need to do, okay? Now I said hanging off like this, but maybe it's actually better to be like, to have it up like this, in which case you would arrange the same thing, but then, you know, leaning up against here or something like that, or just some other arrangement of pillows to support you, right? So I think it's clear the point I'm making about this first position is that, you know, you have multiple joints in your body, ankles, knees, hips, vertebrae, okay? And you just need to arrange, do whatever you need to do with pillows to just find a position that's good, okay? So whatever you find to be your position, we're gonna call that your most tolerable position, okay? Your MTP. your most sorry, just talking too much, the voice is a bit Okay, your most tolerable position, okay? So, after you find your most tolerable position, what you want to start to do is these micro, okay, no, even before that. You want to get into this position, and this is where you need to get yourself into the right mindset, okay? So you're going to be laying there, and you have to come to some level of acceptance. You know, you can accept as much as you can possibly accept in that moment that you are in pain, okay? And stop wishing it were different. Stop hoping that it's suddenly going to change, and just be like, okay, this is how it is, okay? It's like, it is like this, okay? You just have to practice for as long as you need to do to just stop wishing for it to be different, okay? You need to face reality and accept that it is this way and that you are in this much pain, okay? So that's kind of like the foundational beginning mindset. And then from there, when you say, okay, I accept it, when you really feel the truth within you that you do accept the moment, now you can invite in the possibility that if you do micro movements of your joints, and especially your hips and your spine and pelvis, then you can begin to mobilize those joints and softly contract and relax the muscles and actually get things to happen. Okay, just get the blood flowing, all that sort of stuff, all those physical reactions that you want to happen. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about what happens when you do these micro things, but just let me start to give you some examples of what that might look like, right? So let's go back to the side lying position, okay? And let me show you what that's like. Okay, so let's say you're in this position, okay? And I'll just leave out the arm ones just for visibility. Okay, so you're here, you've accepted it. Just breathe. And now you can start to do things like this, right? Let me just show you some examples of movements, right? So see this? This is kind of like, this is a rotation. This is a spinal rotation, okay? Now, the distance, the range that you do will be dependent on the level of pain you're in, okay? If you're in a lot of pain, it may be that you move like, half an inch this way, half an inch that way, half an inch this way, half an inch that way, right? And just these tiny little things, like it might hurt so much, but like you do have to go through it, right? You do have to get things moving again. If you don't get things moving again, you will remain in pain. So here's one movement, this kind of spinal rotation thing. Next thing you might want to try is a leg movement like this, right? Because this doesn't just move your knee joint, your hip joints. This makes your sacroiliac joint and lower spinal vertebrae kind of open and close as well, right? Because you can, okay, so there's that. And then you might, try something like this. This is like switching between an anterior and a posterior pelvic tilt, okay? So there's that. You can also try to go more like this, where you kind of put your leg across this way and put your leg across that way, okay? This was more of a rotation about the upper kind of part of the spine, and this one's kind of like a rotation down at the bottom. And again, just the range that you take yourself through is dependent on your pain. It's going to be a smaller range the higher your pain. Okay, so there's that. There's also kind of like, there's just slight variation on the other one. You might even put the pillow like this and kind of do little crunches like this, right? See this? It's kind of like curling up more and opening, right? So these are all kind of like contracting inward and expanding kind of things. You can even do it like, you know, feet down and feet back up. Just think about the feet moving, okay? Just kind of like this. And there's also kind of like, you know, more full body kind of movements that you can do. And obviously it's going to be tempered by your level of pain. So they're kind of the side lying ones. Back. Okay. Well, let's say you go for something like this. I generally hear that, you know, people like a pillow under the knee. All right. So, you know, you might want to put your hands across your chest and start rocking like this. You may want to, you know, go like this with your legs. You may want to kind of do this, you know, side movement. You know, this is a spine movement I'm doing here. Okay. You may want to do this. This is one of the back pain miracle movements that's in the course. But now we're supported. You know, instead of just being on the floor with no pillows and, you know, straight back, you got pillows and you're supported here, right? Okay. You may do this. Even though this looks like it's something for the leg, this is absolutely something for the sacroiliac joint and the lower back and pelvis and hip, everything, right? Very good. You may do little bridges, like if you can just see what I'm doing here, like the movement is like that, right? So you're kind of like, you know, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling, okay? And of course, there's just the general, you know, mobilizing like this, right? All done at the level you can tolerate. Now, I think that this one on the stomach is very, very good, okay? So watch this, all right? We're gonna have the feet off, okay? Now watch this. So the pillows go to about, you know, the top of my pelvis, or just a bit lower. And that means that the pelvis is like here, right? And you can see that you can really kind of move it, right? See that? It's like in a very movable position, right? There's a lot of space around it, and it has a lot of mobility in this range. So you may want to just lay here, maybe with a pillow under your head, maybe with just your hands, and just start to move like this, right? You can bring your legs into it as well, and just find some way to move, to relax. You can also squeeze your glute muscles here, all right? That can provide a lot of relief, all right? But there's a lot you can do in this position. You may even go up to here, all right? And then from here, you can also do little rotations. You know, of course, you can just do small ones. Okay. You may even do something with your, you know, upper back, like maybe like that or something. All right. Okay. So, I think that covers like the kind of movements that you can do. So I want to conclude. Now I'm going to look like I just got up. Okay, so I want to conclude on just a bit more of the mental approach to this, right? Because you need to understand that pain is very much to do with the brain, okay? Like at first when we get into pain, like you can think that it's like, oh, because of that injury, or because of the sitting, or because of the repetitive strain, all these physical causes, right? But I'm pretty sure that, or definitely for me, and definitely I've had agreement from a lot of my students, and I'm pretty sure it's just an objective thing with most people. Most pain comes from stress and repressed emotions and trauma and fears and like a racing, like contradictory mind, etc., etc. Okay? So, the premise of the back pain miracle, because it comes with the book Conscious Movement, The Key to Releasing Pain, which explains my whole theory about releasing pain, is that every muscular tension in your body is paired with some sort of irrationality or contradictory thought or repressed emotion, etc., or fear, okay, or like painful memory, all that kind of stuff, right? So as you're going to be doing these movements, you're going to be stimulating the pain, right? You're going to be stimulating the muscles and the muscular tension and the joints that are associated with the pain, okay? And therefore, you want to be in a very present to your body and present to your mind simultaneously state. Okay, so that means you're going to be like watching your muscles, watching the sensations, letting the sensations flow to your brain, not blocking them, not trying to prevent the feeling. And you're going to be watching the emotions and the thoughts that are associated. Okay, you're going to be observing it. And you're not going to be judging it or like thinking it's wrong or something's bad or anything. You're going to let everything just happen, right? And you're going to summon some courage and summon some bravery and get yourself into a state where you can really look at everything, where you can really look at the pain, really feel the pain, look at the thoughts and the emotions, and no matter how painful they are, that are associated with it, okay? And, that's basically the premise of the Conscious Movement book. And if you haven't got it, it'll be the link in the description below. You'll see it, okay? And you should definitely read it. It's just a PDF you can access on the internet for free. So I think that pretty much covers it, right? You've got that, most tolerable position to start from, and then you've got different sorts of movements. You saw the method that I used to kind of like generate ideas to come up with, for new movements. And you probably have a pretty good understanding of the mindset that you need to bring into this and how you mentally approach pain and emotionally as well, okay? So any questions you've got, feel free to ask them in the comments. If you want to have more information or different topics answered, put that in the comments as well. Other than that, just hope this is helpful to you, and I'll see you in another video. See ya.